Hey, I'm Todd. Thanks for watching my video and do all that good YouTube stuff. Share it, like it, hit the notification bell, thumbs up, subscribe, all the things that you do. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video and saving some money perhaps. I also invite you to check out the links in the description for some long-term savings with the stock market and checking out the links for either E-Trade or M1 where you can save and trade fractional stocks, or Webull, which is usually giving away a couple free stocks for just depositing $100. So I strongly invite you to invest in your future and check them out. Thanks, and let's get to the video. 2015 Toyota 4runner. Rear brake pad replacement. You want to break the lug nuts loose, either 19 or 21. These are actually aftermarket wheels with specialty rims, so 19 or 21 millimeter. All bolts will be left to loosen, right to tighten. So break them loose on the ground, a turn or two, probably half-inch breaker bar, and an appropriate lug nut socket. And after it's broken loose a turn or two, jack up the vehicle. Protect yourself. You can probably jack up the whole back end right underneath here on the rear differential, or just jack up one side somewhere. Lots of metal underneath here. Jack it up, use safety stands, protect yourself, and then go take the lug nuts off the rest of the way once it's jacked up, and take the tire off, and we'll see the caliper and rotor. Then we have the brake caliper here, brake caliper mount bracket here. 2 bolts hold the caliper on, and 2 bolts hold the caliper mount on.
Thanks, Larry.
Might both be 17 millimeter. Get in here with a screwdriver and collapse the piston and the caliper slides if I can. And the master cylinder is low, so when I collapse it, it's going to fill it up. Just be aware if the master cylinder is full, you want to keep an eye on it. Just make sure it doesn't overflow. Brake fluid can damage paint. So it's basically collapsed. So the slides are good, we know the piston's good, so we can just go ahead and do the brakes on this. You want to do this to both sides, so in case there's a problem, you can, I guess, choose to fix the problem. If one of the slides is stuck, you can try and unfree it, or get yourself some new calipers. So we can take this apart, though, knowing everything works. I'm going to use my impact gun. You can certainly use a half-inch breaker bar and 17 millimeter. So you can use the old brake pad, put it in here, and squeeze this with a large channel locks or a C-clamp if you need to still, until it collapses it all the way to the bottoms out. I always say if money's super tight, you can slide the old pads out, slide the new pads in, put this back on, and you're good to go, but you might have a noise issue. And if there's an issue with the rotor being uneven, you could have a brake pedal pulsation issue. It's less likely with the rear brakes though, but just be warned. But if money's super tight, you can at least save a little money by not having your rotor machined or replaced. Just a friction fit, slides in and out. A little bit of springing action with these little these clips. Just a friction fit clip, fits in the grooves. Ooh. Squealer. Looks like it's probably removable. I don't know if you can see the shine on there, but it's got a little bit of shine on it. It was hitting, so that's good. These are just friction fit. You can just pop these out, or you can leave them in and just clean them, wipe them down with some soap and water, emery cloth, something, clean them up. We have new ones, so we'll be using new ones. So we got a flat side and we have a not as flat side. Flat side needs to be close to the rotor. Of course, you don't want this stuff rubbing on the rotor. So we'll kind of snap into place here. Ugh. Ooh. Firm fit. Might push that down with a screwdriver or something. So just make sure everything's all flush and flat though. Tap those down a little bit. All right, push those into place.
For Toyota, got that. And then freaking oil filters.
All right, got some new one of those, so we'll snap those on and then we'll go over and take our caliper or rotor off. Can often have some rust build up here. Spray it with some lubricant or tap on the back to knock it loose. Also, there's some screw holes, 8 by 1.25 bolts will screw in there and force the rotor off. A little baby drum on the inside. I like to call them droters because they're a drum and a rotor. Emergency brake shoes look to be in good shape. We'll just slide our rotor on and then our caliper mount. Usually they'll have a anti-rust material or coating on it, so you want to wash it off with warm soap and water, then dry it off and mount it. We'll snug those up and torque them down in a little bit after we install the rest of it. Put this slide on the inside here.
That's the same thing the accident said about you.
Yeah, and your 2 cents. You're golden. There we go. Lubricant look good on the slides. I'm just going to top it off a little bit. I have some purple brake lube. Just manipulating that rubber boot a little bit to get it to line up with the hole. Just like that. If you have everything ready to go, shouldn't take any more than maybe 15 minutes for each side with all your tools in the proper place. And we'll tighten things down, and I'm going to give you some torque specs. Then we'll head to the master cylinder and talk about that a little bit. 65 for this bolt, 77 for the bracket bolt, 65 foot-pounds, 77 foot-pounds, and apparently 82 foot-pounds for lug nuts. They usually go to 85, but 82 is the spec I see. So I'm tightening them in a crisscross pattern. Tighten them as tight as you can while it's off the ground, then drop the vehicle so the wheel's touching and doesn't spin, and torque them down the rest of the way. Of course, you're doing both sides. And we'll go to the master cylinder as I mentioned. All right, here's a brake master cylinder on this 2015 Toyota 4runner. Brake fluid cap, use .3. This kind of eventually locks into place. Get that wordage to show straight, maybe. There we go, nice. It's got a maximum over here and a minimum right down here. Fluid's pretty clear as it should be. It's right here. We'll pump the brake pedal a few times. Then we'll top off the fluid, get it up a little higher. So you can just top up the brake fluid as needed. Again, just keep an eye on it so it's not overflowing. Can damage brake fluid, can damage paint. So keep an eye out for that. Use the turkey baster, clean rag, absorb what you can. And pump the brakes a few times before you let anyone drive it to set the calipers in place with the pistons. And you should be good to go. Good luck to you. 2015 and other model years, rear brake pad replacement, rear brake rotor replacement.